All right, stepping out of the SEC, want to get a couple more things before we get out of here in our preseason look at the college football season here on the Matt Barrie Show, ESPN College Football YouTube channel. ACC Media Days get started next week. The ACC, as we know, last year, Florida State. That story is going to continue to linger. They've got the Week 0 game in Ireland against Georgia Tech. Clemson and Dabo Swinney, like you said, haven't been the same since the coordinator switch, since Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. But then Dabo made a comment about unintended consequences of a 12-team college football playoff. He's also been very vocal about NIL. He's also been very vocal about transfer portal. It just doesn't seem, Paul, at this point that we can make Dabo Swinney happy.
I mean, just shut up, Dabo. I mean, what is Dabo? 50 years old. He's the get off your lawn guy down the street. I mean, he's a crotchety old man who just can't stay out of his own way. And I mean, a couple of years ago, I used to think this guy was smart. I mean, he was funny, and you had to talk to him about issues, and he made common sense. It was a little extreme at times, but now he's against everything. I mean, we are years into this playoff, Matt. We've dissected it 1,000 ways, and suddenly Dabo realizes, oh man, you might want to rest your starters. You might want to do this. I mean, what's the biggest show in the world every year? It's the NFL playoffs, and that's where we are. It's not identical, but it's close. Yeah. And yeah, everybody's going to deal with the same thing, except Dabo. You're probably not going to have to worry about it because you're not going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, Clemson was they were so unstoppable in that run, and they're still having really good seasons, but based on where they were and the expectations they had, it'll be interesting to see them. DJ Uiagalelei, now the quarterback at Florida State. What do they do for a bounce back year? I think Miami is on the up. I think they're going to be really good. And I said this when I was hosting your favorite program, Get Up, last week. I said when I was hosting that I think Virginia Tech could be the team in the ACC that we're looking at in November. Like, man, where did they come from? Very favorable schedule. So ACC, we'll get into them as we get closer to the season, but their media days get started next week. And then there's the Big Ten that now includes Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA. And I look at this league, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are in this predicament with no Pac-12 because of USC. USC got this whole thing started because they were getting impatient and nervous about the media negotiations that were going on with the Pac-12 and the television networks. So they led the charge to jump ship. Now Lincoln Riley and USC have to deal with jumping ship regionally to a place where I'm from the West Coast. I don't know that LA kids going up to East Lansing, Michigan, and some of these other cold climates in the Big Ten with a different kind of player was the best move. But here we are, the new Big Ten led by USC.
Yeah, and listen, you know where I live, and everybody loves to say that we're the only league that matters. But I think the Big Ten is on a fairly similar plane with the SEC right now. And I think, Matt, anybody who says that otherwise is just being a fanboy. I am really impressed with what they've done up there from a television standpoint, from an acquisition standpoint, and really the last thing that they did, which was Oregon and Washington, was probably the best thing that they've done.
Yep.
It was a perfect storm. So I'm all in on that league. I think everybody knows, we have two leagues and everyone else, but I don't think we've had this much parity at the top in a long time.
And I would say, first of all, I think Ohio State's the most talented team in the country, top to bottom. I think they're absolutely loaded. It's kind of a now or never season for Ryan Day, but I think top to bottom, Ohio State's got the most talent in the country. But Paul, I believe the newcomer Oregon and Ohio State are going to be playing for the Big Ten championship. Oregon is absolutely loaded. Absolutely. And Dan Lanning's the guy. He's staying put. He's going to build that thing now that they're in the Big Ten. In fact, I would think that Oregon might have more sustainable success in the Big Ten faster than USC and Lincoln Riley. Give me something I can feel.